Hi friends. So we're trying something new with the audio, so let me know if it's the worst thing you've ever heard, okay? So what is your authentic voice? This is your authentic expression, right? So there are 3 C's that go into what gives you your authentic voice. So authentic voice here is it's how you communicate, right? It's how you come off, who you are, and your voice, meaning who you're known as. Let's get into it. So the first C of building this authentic voice or this authentic type of expression, consistency. Consistency in this case means that your messaging, how you come off, who you are, and how people know you to be is consistent, right? You're reliable. People can come to you for the same things and know you're gonna give them a similar type of response, right? And it doesn't matter if you're having a bad day. Consistency would be that the way that you communicate something is direct. It's not going to change dependent on things. Your ideas, your opinions are not going to shift within 5 minutes unless you're having a deep conversation, but your conversation style or the things that matter or the things that come up consistently in your communication or the inflections, the way that you kind of communicate. Are you someone that asks a bunch of questions? Are you someone that is constantly giving advice? Or maybe you bring excitement, you bring the joy, you bring the fun. Maybe you're constantly telling jokes. Maybe that's your consistency. Maybe that's how people expect you to come off. And if you don't come off that way, then people are going to be a little concerned, right? And it's authentic to have an off day, right? So that's not what I mean. But consistency here means if someone were to ask you, what kind of person is this person? They're not going to say they're crazy sometimes and then they're over here doing this, they're over here doing that. No, they're going to be able to know. So consistency, that is what goes into building this authentic voice or this even having a voice that people can relate to or understand. This is like your brand, right? What is your brand voice? That is whatever you consistently are doing on a regular basis. You know the information that you have to the point where that is consistently going to be able to be pulled from, right? You have the knowledge banks of the specific brand of information and things and communicative skills and abilities that you can keep bringing back consistently. So what is the second C? The second C of building your authentic voice, my love, or your authentic brand voice is confidence, right? What do you know? What do you know that you know? And you can share confidently. You have integrity with this. This isn't something you're just gonna say willy-nilly because maybe you understand it. No, this is not something that you have doubt in. Being confident, you're not gonna have doubt. You're not gonna have the doubt. You're not gonna share that. Now, doubts about certain topics, yeah, we all have those, but at the end of the day, you are going to bring what you know, right? And so this is this confidence. Are you confident in what you're talking about? If you are giving advice to people, are you confident? Are you saying, oh, but maybe not, I don't know, maybe I'm silly, maybe I'm just so silly, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Be careful, because if you're constantly being the one that does that, people might not actually listen to you because your consistent messaging in that case, if you aren't speaking with confidence or with authority or with integrity, is probably going to be somebody who doesn't have that. And so your voice, your authentic voice, your brand voice, how you're known to be, it's going to be somebody who isn't an authority on that, right? And that's okay. Maybe you're not even a public speaker and you're working on that, and that's fine. And you're working on your confidence in general, then yeah, definitely. It impacts how people view you, and it also impacts how you view yourself. You need to know what you know. And we all have something that we know, and if it's this getting over this imposter syndrome and still sharing it with integrity, still not lowering your voice if you know better. Somebody's gonna tell me how egotistical I am, and that's not what we're talking about, baby. But confidence is not a flaw. And I just need to, I'm gonna say that for the ones in the back and the ones in the front and the ones across the country and around the world and in different dimensions. Let me just say that again. Confidence is not a flaw. All right, there we go. That felt good. So what's the third thing? Have you ever seen the movie Coherence? I'm just kidding. The third thing is coherence. Coherence. What is it coherent? And you're like, I've never heard that word in my life. What is coherence? Coherence means that it is understandable. If someone were to write you a letter, can you read it or not? Is it really bad, rough handwriting that is illegible, or can you read it? That's what this is. Is what you're saying and sharing readable for people, right? If you're telling someone something and you're trying to get them to see from your perspective, from your point of view, or understand where you're coming from, they have to be able to understand it. It has to be coherent. It has to make sense. When someone hears it, they have to be able to pick apart the different pieces and know what each one means, okay? So this is coherence. This is an understanding, right? If you have enough of this confidence and integrity and wisdom and consistency with what you're bringing to the table, then you're gonna be able to actually clarify all of the points that you make. Do you fully know something, or do you fully have your voice in integrity, a powerful presence, if you cannot clarify what you mean? So this coherence is actually being able to relate to people. So to have a voice that matters, to have a brand that matters, if we're talking about branding, you have to have a connection with you and the client, with you and the customer base, you know what I mean? This coherence is, does it make sense? If you were to make an advertisement and you're gonna use like the wrong punctuation, or you're gonna say something that isn't really that clever and people don't really get, you're not gonna connect with that person, right? So this is being able to clarify to the point where it makes sense, right? And hopefully when you do this enough, you're gonna be able to communicate in a way that makes sense already, and you're not gonna have to super clarify it, but it's just actually having the ability to clarify the things that you tell people. It's pretty powerful stuff. It's pretty powerful stuff, yeah. So I'm showing my true colors in this video. This is the stuff I'm passionate about. So if you want to talk more about confidence, you want to talk more about all this jazz, all that jazz, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And next video, I might not be by my bathroom, but I like standing and talking. It really brings a lot of my authentic energy to the surface, which I'm enjoying. I want to be known as someone who's bold and vibrant, but also somebody who is analytical and is really good problem solver. And that is where I want my inner voice and who I am to come from. It's the things I've learned and I've grown from, the things that have made me who I am. I have struggled with communication, and I still have things that I'm working on regularly, honestly, all the time. And so being able to talk about this topic, it reminds me of what I'm good at. And it also reminds me that I have a lot to learn, and that is so exciting for me. That's so exciting for me. How can I clarify for myself my own feelings, my own vibes, my own voice, so that I can better express it and share it with the world? That is so exciting. You see me jumping? This isn't even from caffeine. This is from authentic expression. This is what I'm excited for. This is what I'm excited to share. Sorry, I'm going crazy here, friends. I absolutely love this topic. I absolutely love what we're doing here. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so let's go over those 3 C's again. So the first C of building your authentic voice and your presence and your brand voice is consistency. How are you showing up regularly? How do people see you? How do you usually show up in conversation and communication and fashion and your style and who you are and your expression and what you're going through, what you're doing? How are you showing up consistently? And what information can you pull from on a regular basis? Which leads us into number 2, confidence. So this information, this database, how sure are you of the information, right? So how confident are you? If you have doubts, if you have imposter syndrome, benefit yourself by learning more, really embedding that in your psyche and in your expression. What do you know? What are you good at inherently? And how can you stand in your power in that? How can you really empower yourself to be confident in what you're communicating? So fun, so fun. Practice makes fun. Practice makes better. Practice makes fulfillment. Okay? All right. It's not going to be perfection all the time. And that's the beauty of life, right? This, your identity, it's also going to constantly shift. So what you're confident in, it's going to grow, it's going to expand, right? So this leads us into point number 3, which is coherence. The more you learn, the more you practice, the more you understand, the more you get through these self-limiting beliefs and you empower yourself as a person, you empower your own voice, your own expression, then you're going to be able to be understood by people for who you are. and you're going to be able to clarify any of that information. And when people come to you, they're going to actually come away with something important, something special, and that is just being able to receive you, your wisdom, your energy. And I'm so excited to be here for that journey for you. I'm so excited to be here to be able to witness you grow and to be able to grow with you, because I am still in my late 20s. I have so much life to live. We have so much life to live, and it doesn't matter how old you are. You're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s, 200, you 365-year-old Dracula. If you are here right now, we're in this together. We can grow, we can expand, and we can get more confident, grow as people, develop ourselves, and really live the most fulfilling, beautiful life that we can, because this is your right. This is your right, your portal, your gateway into your most vibrant, beautiful, and blessed life. And I am so happy that I get to experience this with you. Thanks for being here, babes. I'll see you soon.